Hey, how's it guys? In this video, you're going to learn how to automate PDF data entry using Python. Now, this should be a pretty quick lesson. So right here, I have this PDF form, and I found this form online. Now, if we look at the fields, my target here is going to be this table here. I'm going to skip the first two fields, as well as the advisor use only fields. And my data set is going to be sitting in my Excel spreadsheet. So here my table is sitting in Group A's tab. And these are all the entries that I'm going to populate into this PDF form. And I want to save each entry as an individual PDF file. All right, so let's go ahead and launch the terminal. And to put together the automation script, I'm going to install two packages. The first one is going to be pandas, which I'm going to use to load the Excel file. The other one is going to be this PyMu PDF Python package. So this is the Python package that I've been using to working with PDF files. And we can use this library to perform the data entry task. And to install the package, it's going to be PyMu PDF. Enter. I'm going to create two files. One is going to be the index check script, and the other one is going to be data entry script. So let's call this data entry.py. And launch your code editor. Right, so first we need to figure out from the PDF form. Now if we scroll to the second page, so in a form, each field is associated with an index. It's kind of like a table. You have multiple columns, and each column is associated to an index. So that's why we have two scripts. The first script is going to be used to detect the fields index. So that way that we can enter the information correctly in the fields. I'm going to import the fixed library, and that's the library from PyMu PDF Python library. And my form is going to be this file right here. I'm going to set the file path to this target form variable. Next, I need to open the file using fix.open. I'll provide the form's file path. Now, because my form is located in the second page, so when we open the document, the doc object is going to be treated like a generator. And we can reference the second page by referencing the page's index. And I'll name this as target page. Then I want to insert an annotation in each field to tell me the field's index number. So first we need to create the font color. Then from target page. So this is going to be the second page's reference. And we can retrieve all the fields by referencing the widgets method. Then here I'm going to basically just iterate each field. And I want to return the field's index as well as the field's reference. And that'll be this field object. Then I'm going to check the field type, because if we look at the form here, most of the fields are text field, but here we have 4 checkboxes. And from the Excel file, we need to figure out, based on the value in year in school column, we need to figure out which checkbox we need to check. For the text field, we can simply insert the annotation directly. But for checkboxes, because there's no room for me to insert the annotation, I'm simply going to insert an annotation box above the checkbox field. You'll see in a second. Now here, let's get rid of this text right here. And let's just insert index followed by the index number. Now if I go ahead and run the script to create this application index.pdf file, Let's go ahead and open the PDF file. Now here we can see that for the first two fields, those are index 0 and 1. So we want to skip these two fields. Then we have index 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And for the checkboxes, so we have index 10, 11, 12, and 13. And I want to skip everything beyond index 17. And once we figure out the fields index, we can perform the data entry task. All right, so here I'm going to create a folder. And let's name the folder Applications. For the data entry script, I'm going to import fits and pandas as PD. And here I'm actually going to place this with Excel file. Then the remaining setups are going to be the same. And here I'm actually going to take out this list here. So basically, the workflow looks like this. We're going to iterate each row in the Excel table. So from data list data frame, we can use the iterate rows method to iterate each record. If I go ahead and run this loop, oh, I forgot to import the. Now, if I run the loop again, now it's going to return each record as a name tuple. So if we print row followed by the field name, home address, for example, and it's going to return the home address value associated to that row. And next, we need to iterate each field from the document form. Then we just need to insert the value associated to the column from the table here. So for index 2, if we look at the application index file, so for index 2, we have name, and that's going to be the name column. And home address is going to be index 3. So it's going to be from home address column. And here I'm skipping index 4 and 6 because we don't need to populate information in those two fields. Now, in terms of dealing with checkboxes, oh, actually, let me take this out here. When we're updating a field, we are actually creating a copy of the document, and we're making a update to that document in memory. And once we check out everything, then we save the document. Let me insert the document save method. By using the doc.save method, we're actually creating a new document file. But because every time we check a field in the checkbox, that value is going to get retained in the copied document. Let's look at these four if statements here. So basically, I'm checking the year in school value, which is going to be column G. Now, if both the index, the checkbox index, and the values matches, then I want to set the checkbox value to true. And once I check the checkbox, I need to uncheck everything. Otherwise, when you go to the next record, you end up having multiple checkboxes getting checked. And this is basically everything we need to write. Now let's do a test run. So I'm going to close all the PDF files and open Applications folder. Now I'm going to go ahead and run the script. And it took about a second for all the data entry tasks to get complete. Now, if we open one of the files, now here we have Heidi Lowry. Now just do a quick validation. And it's going to be this record here. So we can see that the address match. And for the phone number, I just made that the same across every single record. But for the school and personal email addresses, and they are the same. And here, for some reason, it's checking everything. Let me take a look. Okay, let's see. All right, so let's troubleshoot. And I don't know what's going on here. So I'm going to save the file and rerun the script again. Okay. So it's checking both checkboxes. Now let's do this. I'm going to pause for a minute, and meanwhile, let me just go ahead and troubleshoot. All right, so I figured out the issue, and it was my mistake. Now let me delete the PDF files first. So basically, this should go in the beginning. Because if I put this statement here, when the second loop is iterating, the index here is not going to get checked. So that was my oversight. So if we put this code block on the top in the beginning, inside the second loop, we're going to reset the checkboxes in the beginning. Then we can recheck the checkbox. So yeah, so that was the issue. Now if we go and run the script again, now if we open one of the files, and this time we should have the correct checkbox check. So this is going to be everything I'm going to cover in this tutorial, and hopefully you guys find this video useful. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.